What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our round three DFS Showdown targets for the 2021 Valero Texas Open. Craig, we are through the cut. It seems to be a little bit tough in terms of DFS perspective, at least. I mean, I was just quickly looking at our sleepers. I think you did really well. I got some pie on my face this week for my sleepers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things. My showdown day was brutal. I had potentially my worst showdown day I've ever had. But Finau, the 50% stack on Finau hurts. He just between his driver and his putter, he threw away an absurd amount of strokes. And
25% hit fairways through 2 days. Like, that is so bad.
the thing
How
is,
do you
like,
score?
he still had a shot to make the cut.
I
Even
know.
like,
That's
like
that's
he
just
had
how
a couple
talented he
putts
is.
that could have fallen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A guy that has all the tools. He doesn't have a couple of them working for him, and it still was close. But I mean, that's really gonna hamstring my week long. But my week
Yeah.
longs are okay because I do have a lot of value. I think with some of my lower end. But yeah, it's gonna hurt the upside. Cam Tringali though, was it Gerard yesterday in the chat who said he has an outright on Tringali?
I think that might be right. Yeah, I think
I don't,
so.
I don't know if you tune in here today, let us know what the buyout price is because I was thinking about that a lot today, and I'd be I'd be starting to get pretty tempted to even if you want to like leave something rolling on it to cash it out and then like bet him like his live
Oh,
odds.
Cam Vijagas.
Oh, I got you. I got you. That's
But it does. I
probably
mean,
not as good right now. Cam
first off,
Tringali.
yeah, Ratel John. I kind of feel you. Is it Masters Week? Yeah. Thank you for joining us live. Everyone that is in the chat right now. Robert, great having 266 teams. Looks like we got a trio for some Tringali, Neesmith, and Gim. And Keegan, for both those. So I'll be cheering for those guys. But I mean, it's good if you're a longtime subscriber to our channel. We have these guys that we think are going to break through, and that's what we've been talking about for Tringali for, I mean, for
Yeah.
months it seems like. And I we don't want to bring them up every pick show, but if you follow us, like it's the stats are there and like the rounds and the shots are there. It's just putting it all together for one tournament. Again, we don't know if that's going to happen this tournament, but it feels
Like
good to kind of
yeah, I
have
see I
long
see
streaks with
Ray
you guys.
Flores in the chat. He's probably heard us talk about him a few times. So I think there's a couple things here, a couple surprises to me. Doc Redman at -4 is a happy surprise. It's been a while since we've seen signs of life from him, so that's
Yeah, no
that's
kidding.
very pleasant.
Yeah. Uh,
EVR.
EVR, yeah, is there Kyle Stanley? I kind of feel bad about. He's one of my last cuts for the showdown yesterday. I think his ball striking was pretty good, so that's, I mean, a good sign always. But I didn't roster him on my own.
Jordan Spieth, I think,
There's
will be potentially the talk of the tournament if he does something going into the Masters. It could cause heads to spin with what that might mean.
I think even if Jordan Spieth goes plus three, he's still going to be one of the favorites at Augusta. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we've seen enough now.
Now Charlie Hoffman, a guy that was outside the cut line yesterday, showed why he is Mr.
Totally.
San Antonio.
Yeah. Fought back. Yeah, big time. Like we said yesterday,
I,
it's
I
going to
think
be a
he was
lot of
low round on the
crisscrossing.
day with a 6 under. Is that do you know if that's correct? I don't know of anyone who was lower.
And that's another good point. Like, just kind of like besides picks, like we like talking picks and picking guys and trying to figure out for a single day. But when you have favorites, I mean, he was one of your picks for tournament long. You can't disregard that all in one round. Like you still got
No,
to
but the
think they're
problem
more
for
likely
me,
to.
and I unfortunately I wasn't on Hoffman for showdown plays. I'm happy I do have ownership on him week long, but it was 2 rounds in a row. So he had the bad last
Well,
round at
was it two
Corrales.
rounds or was it like 20 holes? Was
Yeah,
it?
that's true. That's true.
But I mean that is a good strategy. I mean, I went more Finau for round two, being like, okay, he's gonna bounce back. But that is a good thing to keep in mind because it suppresses their ownership in a huge way. Just one little sample size, one round. But you did all this research from Monday to Wednesday. Why you like this person? Yeah, they're probably more likely to have a good round on Friday.
Yeah. So I think we just got to rip the band-aid off here. Round two average was 1.14. Our picks in round two were plus 1.5. I think a lot of that is on me and Scotty Scheffler. He not single-handedly, because there was quite a few other guys that contributed, but he sank. I had a very bad showdown playing a lot of our plays.
Yeah, I mean, my showdown picks were very average. I think the best thing I did, and my voice is squeaking already. The best thing I did, the best thing I did in our show yesterday was basically say I'm not playing Scotty Scheffler. I think that's better than all my picks.
Yeah, that was sage advice. Now the other ones, there's just a few other pie on my faces. The ones that I didn't talk about, but I played. Wesley Bryan was a play of mine. He shot
Okay.
he went 36-45. So he was -1 going into the day and had a day to forget. He lost strokes all over the place. What was the other one that killed me? There's so many that it's hard to keep track of.
But I think, I mean, so we're talking 6 of 6 is about 8%. Pretty good from where we saw kind of after the day and even after midway through the day. And with actually better than I thought with Finau out. But the plus 3 crew, like you said, pour one out for the plus 3 crew. We got HV3. I mean, in terms of my picks,
I was going to say, I've got a lot of ownership.
Slaughtered.
So I'm pouring one out for myself here.
I got slaughtered here. Roger Sloan, Akshay Patia went bogey
Yeah.
par to miss the cut. Tony Finau, Harry Higgs, Zach Johnson, Lashley, Garnett, Danny Willett, Jonathan Vegas. Like, even if it's not Finau, there's a lot of sleepers.
There's a lot of my plays there that I don't have any 6 of 6s through. Some because of Finau. A few others just random ones, whether it's Batia or Furyk or Percy. A lot of my low end plays didn't work out, and unfortunately the ones that I have, the low ends that worked out and the high end ones didn't work out. So you know how it is.
I got a couple, and I honestly feel a little bit lucky. Like I don't.
You feel like your pool isn't good enough to get a few 6 of 6s through.
Yeah, I got I think a late charge from Wise to get in, from Grace, I think, to get in. Brandon Grace was one to save me. So, I kind of got lucky.
Yeah. So, wind tomorrow. Are you letting it affect your picks?
No, I mean, this course is hard. This course has a lot of wind. Even if you try to go early, those are the guys that really haven't been playing well. So, it could shift even in a couple hours. So.
And to me, there's nothing definitive enough there to definitely favor one side or the other. Although the one thing that I think should be noted, the PM/AM wave ended up having a significant advantage. Now, I don't know how much that was conditions and how much that was they had the best players on that side of the field did not play well. So,
it was over a stroke. It was just over a stroke, I think.
Yeah. Well, because it was about a half both days. Yeah. Anything else? Or I guess check out. We did a very, very thorough breakdown of the Masters field. It'll be the first one we do. We tried to look at it from all points of view, not necessarily just DFS. It's about 2.5 hours long. You don't need to watch it all the way through it in one sitting. You can just click through it and check out guys you want. But it's a good resource there. We're going to be starting to get started more on our DFS stuff, DFS previews for the Masters. So keep an eye out for those. Subscribe, all that stuff if you haven't already.
Yeah, we did a full player guide, every single player in alphabetical order. So if you I want to check out, hey, what'd you guys think about Fleetwood? Click on Fleetwood. Hey, what'd you think of Spieth, Scheffler? I mean, you click through it, see who you want to see, or click that double time and then rip through it. But it was fun to make, and we're excited for Augusta. I mean,
one eye on the week, one eye next week.
But in San Antonio, should we get into some picks here?
Yep, let's do it. You're up first.
Okay, kind of talking like we were Hoffman. I'm going back to the guy that I staked as the winner, as my one and done. I'm going Ryan Palmer as my first pick here for round 3, 9,400 on DraftKings. He's gone a very kind of ho-hum 72, 71, 1 under, 6 birdies, 5 bogeys. Has been in the feature group, so we've seen a little bit of him. But basically, I think his ball striking is very, very good for the reasons like Hoffman, why people liked him before the tournament. I'm going back to Ryan Palmer. I think he's kind of priced in that 1B type tier. He's not up with Spieth or quite there, but he's right next there. And I don't think he'll have that much ownership. Really good, history here. 34 rounds at TPC San Antonio, averaging 1.14 strokes in total per round. So he does play this course very well, but his ball striking is there. I think he's just a good bounce back candidate, really.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's great value. I don't think that I do like Spieth. He's expensive, but I like just Spieth's pure ability to potentially score tomorrow. But there's not a ton up at the top compared to other tournaments. So you kind of want people who you think have potential upside, but then also a reasonable floor. They're not going to pull a Scotty Scheffler. I think Palmer gives you both of those. I think he could easily go off and give you a -4, -5, something like that. But I also have a hard time seeing him going out there and really blowing up tomorrow. And that said, I just put the curse on him.
You just what, sorry?
I just put the curse on him, so.
Yeah, you did. But I agree. Spieth has a little bit of that blow-up potential. I think Palmer is safer and still has close to the same upside.
I don't know if I give him the upside, but he's about $1,000 cheaper in DFS. Yeah. My first one here, I'm going Hideki Matsuyama. He is 9,100. He went 5 under 67, followed up with a 2 over 74. So he's -3 on the tournament. 9 birdies, 4 bogeys, 1 double. So if you look at what he did, his driving today, it was ugly. I don't know if you were able to watch any of the earlier featured groups, but he had some where he snap hooked him. Essentially, they were out on the toe hooks. So he lost, I think, almost 2 or maybe just over 2 strokes off the tee today. He's close to 0 on the tournament though. His approach play has been good. He's gained 3 strokes on the tournament and gained both around the green and putting. So his short game has been solid thus far. So to me, essentially, I think Hideki is always a great showdown play. First off, I think we really haven't seen the consistency from him in a while in terms of playing tournament long, but we do still see him, even when he's in this sort of not great form that he's been in, he still pops for these really good rounds that are showdown winners. So you look at his last 14 rounds, so this is including the rounds this week, he has 9 of the last 14, he's over 2.4 or 2.38 strokes gained. So he's doing a pretty good job of putting up, over 2 strokes gained rounds. And then 3.47, so basically 3.5 strokes or better in 50% of his rounds in 7 of his last 14. So those are very, very good. Those are like staple of your showdown lineup. So I think he does have he went out there and shot a +2 today, but I just like his potential to go out there and shoot a very low one, and to get him priced at 9,100 in a field like this for Hideki, who all of a sudden you sort by 2-year long form, he's far and away the best player in the field. It's just we haven't seen Hideki being Hideki, but I was looking at some of his numbers over the past 3 months. He's gained a stroke and a half, so he is starting to play better. Total. He is starting to play better, I think, but it kind of hasn't quite all been put together in a flashy way that's going to attract the ownership and the price increase.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, his round 1 and round 2 are kind of 2 rounds you can expect from Hideki. Like, he can go out there and shoot 5 under, and he can go out there and shoot 2 over. And that's kind of what you have to be prepared with when you roster Hideki, because he can go so ice cold. You expect the ball striking to be relatively stable, and then if he sinks those putts, you're like, this is great.
Yeah. If you can't handle the heat of the Hideki at his worst, then you don't deserve the heat of Hideki at his best.
I like it. Yeah, he'll probably find a roster of mine.
All right, what you got next?
I got Aaron Wise. I was just looking at the chat here. Peck, I think, agrees with me. I'm going Aaron Wise, 7,900. Big improvement in round 2. He went 75-70. He's +1. 8 birdies. Love to see that. What I don't love to see, 5 bogeys and 2 doubles. That's not good. The 2 doubles were all on Thursday, so he has improved. He improved quite a bit today. But looking at his ball striking or his stroke gain data, these are cumulative through the first 2 days from PGA Tour. It's kind of that classic showdown. He's great in approach, 3.24 over 2 days. This is, again, cumulative. He ranks 9th there, 20th off the tee. Horrible putting. -3.56, 130th in the field. Looking at his recent form, I mean, this is one of his worst putting years we've seen, I think, maybe ever, but in a while. His putting hasn't been good, so you can't really expect that to bounce back to zero or even to the positive. But his ball striking gives him such a really good floor. I think he did. And going again, round 1 to round 2, he improved in strokes and putting. He improved in approach. He improved off the tee. And he leads the entire tournament in greens and regulation percentage. That's something I talked about, for last video with, Ryan Moore and those guys. 80.56%. I feel like that's, again, it's safe. And if he has any kind of form with his putting, I think he can be a great play at 7,900.
Yeah, it feels a little bit maybe like a Griot type play with the ball striking and the putter. I do like Wise. I do like his ball striking. The price is that's the one thing that I struggle with.
Priced up.
He's priced up. It is a weak field. It'll keep his ownership low. So, ultimately it comes down to what are you going to do with your lineups? Are you willing to take that price and spend down elsewhere, or potentially avoid some guys up higher that you otherwise would be able to get?
Yeah. I agree.
As in DFS, it's all about roster construction. Okay, my second one, I am going with someone at the same price, and that's why I don't quite like Aaron Wise as much, because I'm making a petition for Lanto Griffin here. 75 in his opening round. He was 71 today. He's +2 overall, just snuck into under the cut line. He's got an eagle, 4 birdies, 8 bogeys. You look at what he's done, it has been, somewhat similar to Wise in a lot of ways. His tee to green play has been very good. He, his off the tee, he is doing great. Approach, pretty good, not as great, but around the green, he's found a lot of strokes. He's lost 4 strokes putting. He's 134th in the field. So Griffin he's not Emmanuel Griel. He's not even Corey Connors. Like, he's not one of these people that you really think about. You have to just pray that the putter's going to work that week and really not hold you back for a great ball striker. His positive strokes gained putting in 17 of his last 20 rounds entering this week, and his 50 round average coming into the week was plus 0.7 essentially strokes gained putting. That's from Data Golf, so that does they did kind of calculate numbers for the match play, but.
Okay, right.
But regardless, he's been a very good putter for quite a while. So this is out of the ordinary.
Those are good numbers. Those are great. Like if you finish the season at that, that's great.
That's top 10. Putting.
Yeah,
those top 10 in the PGA Tour numbers. So what we are seeing from him so far this week is an aberration with the putter.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I'm just kind of happy that he's playing the weekend, because it didn't look like that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's kind of at this point right now, it kind of seems like a steal. So maybe pairing Wise and Griffin together.
Yeah, it lets you. I actually think a balanced lineup. There's some decent value, I think, in the high 7s that you can make interesting balanced lineups with.
Yeah. Okay, Greg. My last one here. I'm going into the 6Ks. I feel like this is just too cheap of a price for kind of a pure ball striker we're getting here. Matthew NeSmith, 6,900 on DraftKings. Pretty ho-hum, kind of like our Palmer. 73-71, 1 under. Have to check that because that doesn't add up. But 9 birdies, 5 bogeys, 2 doubles. Great in approach. Just like Wise, those finding the greens, getting those approach shots. That's what I'm looking for. 4.25 over the first 2 days. That is 4th in the field. He is losing off the tee. So why is he losing off the tee? I was looking at his driving accuracy for round 1 and round 2. Both the exact same fairways hit. He was 57% on both days. His season average. You can't miss fairways here. That's what Tony Finau did. You can't miss fairways here. You
can quite easily. That's what Tony Finau did.
But you have to go pretty much like.
It's punishing if you do. Yeah.
You pretty much go lateral. You see so many guys have to go lateral. But his season stats, he is closer to like the top 75 in the PGA Tour with an average of 65% driving accuracy. So I think he can improve in his off the tee numbers. I think that just leads to even better approach, and then going from there, kind of middling around the green and putting stats. But his approach game is so strong that he gives you those birdie opportunities.
Yeah, I like NeSmith coming into the week. I like him still. To me, essentially, he's been a wash with the short game. So he is even, I'm pretty sure, on the tournament. So it's just the -1 is wrong there. I think your rounds are correct. But
you're right. He is even. Yeah.
No, like he's doing exactly what you want to see from him with his approach ball striking. He does just need to find the fairway, and we can see better numbers from him.
Yeah.
I have tournament long exposure to him, so I don't know whether how much I'm going to invest.
For
I
sure.
also don't know if I'm going to kind of go with a few single entries here, just because my soul has been so crushed from my day in Showdown here. So I don't know if I'm going to have as large of a player pool, but he's definitely someone I'm going to consider at 69.
Yeah.
Okay, my last one here. I'm going Siwoo Kim, 7,600, 72 even par, but he does have some shapes on the scorecard. He's got an eagle, 6 birdies, 6 bogeys, and a double. Uh, Essentially, he's doing everything somewhat decently, except for his around the green play. So the ball striking has been good. I'm pretty sure I would have to look at this. I think he might be positive in each ball striking category on both days. So
Right. Okay.
that's what you want to see. Siwoo Kim
Yeah.
obviously can be a bit of a streaky player. To me, he's somewhat classic Showdown play, but I just think this is tons of value. To get Siwoo Kim at 7,600 seems like
Yeah.
it's too cheap in this kind of field. So you look at his strokes gained totals. This is per Data Golf again, which does incorporate from the different tours. 3 months. His 3 month strokes gained total, he's gaining almost a stroke. He's 0.94. That's 16th in the field. He is definitely not priced at 16th in this field. There's just so much value. And then you look at that, it's also the 6 months, the 1 year. He's almost a stroke on both of those strokes gained total, and he's 10th in this field. So to me, I just think this is a pure value play. Siwoo Kim, he's volatile. He gives you the upside. He gives you a healthy downside, I would say. But
Yeah.
I'm willing to take that risk at that price.
Yeah, I like Siwoo Kim in Showdown. He takes those chances. He puts himself in those scoring opportunities. I actually rostered him today.
Me too. Me as well. Yeah.
So I might go right back. But yeah, I mean, looking back at the list, there is a lot of ball strikers here, so there's a lot of volatility. But that's also, I don't know.
Yeah.
You might want to hedge a little bit with some kind of steadier putt, good on the greens.
I don't need to hedge. Give me all the volatile ball strikers.
Yeah, fair enough. That's our 6 picks, 3 each for round 2 at the Valero Texas Open. Craig, we do have a couple questions in the chat here. David Davidson, I'm thinking for Saturday, you're asking Keegan Bradley or Troy Merritt. I was just looking at their stats. They seem pretty similar, both gaining on the greens, interestingly. But because of that, I would probably lean Keegan because I think his ball striking
I would
has
think
been.
there's a fairly significant price difference between the two as well. I don't know offhand, but I would think Keegan's going to be in the high 8s.
I would have to check. I was going for my water, not for my.
Yeah. Okay. To me, it's Bradley, it's Keegan. I think Keegan as a Showdown play also gives you a ton of upside, but Merritt, I mean, they're sort of just in totally different areas of what I'm going to be considering. So I would think about maybe playing both of them, and then I don't know the rest of the ticket and all that. So
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Peck, I like to hope it's a rare bad day, and I like to hope we're I was just gonna say to Adam, I think sometimes the best time to not be gun shy is right after you've had a horrible one, because then you start to doubt yourself and you miss out on playing when you then have the good pick. So let's hope for a good bounce back. Let's hope for a good Saturday. I don't see anything else there, so unless there's anything on your end, Adam.
No, yeah, trust the process. Your picks outright were pretty good. Your sleepers, I think you got 3 of 3 through. So, Showdown, a single day of golf is very hard to predict, but it's very fun to talk about and to try to predict and to play those Showdown because it gives you so many options. So yeah, I mean, continue riding it. Trust the process. I think a bounce back day and nowhere to go but up.
Yeah. And I think on that note, I've got a lasagna in the oven. We've got more Masters content to get to here. So I think we'll wrap her up. Good luck tomorrow, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. And yeah, as always, keep them low.
See